Today we're working with the 40th Marine Coastal Defense Brigade, and we're going to talk about this BVS-10, a Swedish-British armored personnel carrier, specifically the Medevac modification. The guys only received it very recently, and right now, they're preparing it for its first combat deployment.
I still haven't seen difficult conditions for it. Even take the tank track. We got there after rain, everything was mud, and honestly, it just didn't care. It was moving through the mud at 60 kilometers per hour, around 37 miles per hour, and doing it steadily. We didn't really find obstacles there that could stop it.
What about steep climbs?
No issues at all. We'd stop right in front of the incline, it would start moving, and there was no wheel spin, nothing.
Did you know you were going to get a vehicle like this?
No.
So it was a surprise?
Not exactly a surprise, but when I went to receive them, I was actually the senior representative during the pickup. My first impression was, why do I even need this thing? What am I supposed to do with it? I honestly had no idea what it was in general. But then we started driving it around there, spent some time figuring out what was what, and overall I ended up liking the vehicle.
Did you have any experience operating combat vehicles before this?
No, before this, I was a long-haul truck driver. I spent 7 years driving across Ukraine, and I'd never even seen tracked vehicles or equipment like this before. But we figured out the YPR 765, and we figured this one out too. This one has an automatic transmission. It's got a steering wheel like a regular car, and overall it's actually pretty easy to handle. Its maneuverability is seriously powerful. As for cross-country capability, even in this little forest here, it feels very confident.
This Viking is equipped with a Turkish Canik M2 machine gun, .50 caliber, 12.7 millimeters, with an effective firing range of 1.8 kilometers, about 1.1 miles. Basically, it's an equivalent to the Browning that everybody already knows.
What we're looking at right now is the Medevac version. It can drive right up to the positions, we've got a machine gun, we can return fire if needed, load up the wounded, turn around, and get out. Any kind of clay, mud, water obstacle, none of that is really an obstacle for us. If you compare it to some Soviet-era equipment, that stuff already wouldn't make it in there because of the weight and all the other limitations. But this vehicle can get into any difficult conditions, pick up its wounded, and leave. We also have an assault transport modification. It can get practically anywhere, bring in troops, deliver food and supplies, transport personnel, even evacuate wounded using the assault vehicle version. All of that is possible. It has a really wide range of things it can do. Everything for the combat medic has been thought out. You can see here, these pockets are for medical supplies, and there are mounts for IV drips. Aid can start being given immediately. The second the wounded man gets loaded into the vehicle, medical treatment can begin right away.
The hull is armored, right?
Yeah, it can withstand 7.62 rounds. Its armor class is designed more for fragments and assault rifle fire, but it handles 7.62 no problem. And when it hits a mine, there's a chance it won't even trigger it. That's because the pressure load on the tracks is minimal. Oh, they even came up with an electric kettle. This little box right here, that's an electric kettle. With a tap and everything. Yep, electric kettle.
That's awesome.
And there's another identical kettle inside the compartment too. Though honestly, we still haven't figured out how to use it yet, but we already translated the instructions. It's an electric kettle. That's basically all you really need to know. Where to switch on the main power and where the ignition is. There are no keys in the vehicle. That's all the knowledge you need. Everything's basically like a regular car. Watch the engine temperature so it doesn't overheat, and keep an eye on the fuel level so you don't run dry.
What else can you control from here? Weapon systems? Smoke launchers, maybe?
Smoke launchers. Here's the smoke control panel. Left, right, left.
So you can activate them from here?
Yeah, the passenger can activate them from that side, or the driver can reach down here and activate them too. There's heating for the side mirrors and the windshield, hazard lights, brightness adjustment for the instrument lighting, lights, door locking with electric locks. You can completely seal the whole vehicle from inside. Fog lights, windshield washer, cabin heating.
What has to be done to prepare this vehicle for a combat mission? What exactly did you do here? What did you check? How do you get it ready?
At this point, we've checked all the oils, all the coolant fluids, the washer fluid too. It has windshield washers, so we checked that the wipers are working properly. We've now mounted the weapon system onto it, installed the machine gun, lubricated it, checked everything. Ammunition loadout will be added for the weapon as well. After that, the combat medic will organize all his medical supplies, whatever he needs for the mission, and that's it. Then the vehicle will be ready to roll out.
Right now, we're inside the second compartment of the Viking. This is exactly where the wounded are transported. There are 2 stretchers here, and if you lay something down here, you could fit another wounded man as well. We're currently driving along a dirt road. It's not shaking that badly in here. You could even perform some medical procedures on the wounded while moving. Now, trying to drink tea on the move from that kettle, that's not exactly convenient. It'll spill everywhere. But little details like that, those almost cozy touches, they show that the developers actually thought about crew comfort. And that's really cool. This is another modification of the BVS-10 Viking. This one is the assault transport version. Right now, the guys are welding on mine protection systems. Oleksiy, can you explain what exactly this is for?
This is going to be protection against anti-personnel mines, specifically the Leopardstock mines. I don't know what people call them officially, but everybody knows them. Those little plastic things. They're very light, but they'll still tear your foot apart if you step on one. This mine clearing rig is going to consist of 2 sections. One section will have chains with weighted loads attached, so they'll scatter the mines around. The second section will be rubber, basically pushing the mines off to the sides. Those mines don't weigh much anyway. One mine weighs up to about 100 grams, around 3.5 ounces, so that'll be enough to shove them aside. As you can see here, the road wheel is covered in plastic, and the tracks themselves are rubber. If we hit a couple of mines, the tracks will start showing damage marks, and sooner or later they'll tear apart. I don't know what percentage of effectiveness this system will actually have, but still it should at least extend the service life of the tracks a little.
How else can a Viking assault vehicle like this be modernized besides mine protection?
For the assault version, you can already start adding stronger anti-drone protection. Weld something onto the roof, some kind of netting, because this vehicle has a different role than the Medevac version. Here you've got to protect the gunner better. At minimum, install anti-drone mesh. The troop compartment itself also needs to be covered with some kind of netting. This is our first Viking. We simply don't have operational experience with them yet. With the YPRs, we already had combat experience in Toretsk. We more or less understand what to expect from them, what needs to be added. But with these, there are still difficulties because we haven't fought in them yet. Once the vehicles start going out on missions, we'll see. We'll immediately start welding things on, modifying them as we go.
So, like in the Medevac version, there are 2 stretchers for wounded personnel. But here you've got the troop compartment instead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows, right? For 8 men?
Well, there's also supposed to be a separate 9th seat added, but 8 guys can sit in here completely comfortably.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we've come to the 141st Separate Infantry Brigade, and today we're going to show you a Swedish legend. the Bandvagn 206, or as the troops call it, the Moose. People call it legendary, but what exactly makes it legendary? And what was it originally created for?
It was created during the Cold War years to move troops through the Alps. In terms of mobility, they built it extremely well. It has two modules, and both are powered. Both the front module and the rear module drive their own tracks. It's probably 99% more effective even than a Cossack. A ditch that stops a Cossack is already an obstacle for it. But as you can see, a trench isn't really an obstacle for this thing. It crosses it and moves through it like any tank or infantry fighting vehicle. Its one downside is that it has absolutely no armor at all.
I can see the tracks are pretty wide, and they're rubber. How does it handle off-road terrain?
Off-road, it handles itself beautifully. Metal tracks freeze over. In extreme cold, they crack like glass. But rubber stays elastic, so it doesn't crack the way metal does. Metal tracks also wear out faster. If you look closely, you can see the metal connectors here. They keep the track from slipping off. And it was also designed this way to help with flotation.
So it can actually float too, like an amphibious vehicle.
Yeah, it's pleasant to work with. A little noisy, sure, but it has its advantages. On dirt roads, it can hit speeds of 50 kilometers per hour, around 31 miles per hour. Mud or no mud, it keeps moving. It was built properly, built to last. It has a really interesting two-module design. Its maneuverability is really good. As for mobility, if the front module starts slipping, the rear module pushes it forward from behind. The rear stays on solid ground while the front is stuck in mud. The rear pushes it out, the front gets onto firm ground, and then it pulls the rear module through afterward. The vehicle's cross-country capability is honestly huge.
How many people can actually fit in here?
4 in the back, 2 in the front, steering wheel, everything's basically like an ordinary car.
The engine is located here in the middle.
Yeah, the engine's in the middle. It has an automatic 4-speed transmission, a Mercedes engine. These are the lights here: turn signals, bilge pump, rear drainage pump, and here we switch between fuel tanks.
Right now, we're inside the second module. About how many people can fit back here?
In the second module, you can fit around 12 people, for evacuation missions, for example, or for transporting troops and supplies to positions. You can use it for that too.
And what's its payload capacity?
The rear module has a payload capacity of 1,630 kilograms, around 3,600 pounds.
So if needed, you could transport ammunition loads in it. And fully loaded like that, it can still move through off-road terrain and swamps.
Yeah, it can. Its mobility is really good. Even carrying 1,630 kilograms, it still handles itself just fine.
For example, if you install stretchers here, then realistically, you could probably fit around 2 stretchers for evacuating critically wounded soldiers.
Yeah, you couldn't fit more than that in here, because the medics still need space to sit too.
And what's this thing here?
That's a water pump. If it crosses through water and some gets inside, this is used to pump the water back out.
So this extra one was installed, basically, as a backup. Overall, how difficult is it to maintain?
Maintenance is easy because it's got a Mercedes engine. Any mechanic knows a simple diesel engine with a turbocharger. Track maintenance is also very easy. There are a few components where you need a specialist mechanic. Those parts get removed and taken to a specialist to rebuild or replace. But aside from that, pretty much any soldier who understands machinery even a little can step in and repair it. I don't really see any problem with it.
Can additional weapons be mounted onto it? Small arms or heavier weapons?
If needed, yeah. You can install a turret, mount a DSK or a Browning. Whatever kind of weapon the turret is designed for, that's what you can mount on it. Key to this position, there. The lights come on. Now turn it further, and it should start up.
Come on, little one. What's its fuel consumption?
60 liters per 100 kilometers, about 3.9 miles per gallon.
Honestly, it feels like even a kid could handle driving this thing. It may not be young anymore, but it still seems really effective. Pretty loud though, not gonna lie.
All right, now give it some throttle.
Misha, hold on tight. I still need my cameraman alive. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, this all-terrain vehicle may be old, but when needed, it can still be used by the military for transporting ammunition or evacuating the wounded. And for now, we're moving on.
Is there any armored vehicle that can drive over a TM mine and not blow up? Today, we're reviewing the Viking, used by Ukraine's 38th Marine Brigade.
Unit is called the BVS Viking 10. It's an infantry fighting vehicle, amphibious. It consists of two sections. The front holds the driver, commander, and gunner. The rear is for troops. The front part, engine, transmission, and drive system, weighs 5 tons. The rear weighs about 3.5 tons. It's mainly used to drop off troops and then pull them out. Armor is rated at level 4.
What does that stop?
Shrapnel, and it'll definitely stop 7.62mm rounds.
Has it taken fire before?
There have been blasts, close but not direct hits, maybe a meter or two away. That can cause concussions. That includes the driver and gunner too. Minor concussions, but no life-threatening injuries. Vikings have been produced since 2006. This one came to Ukraine in 2023.
What's the crew size?
Driver, gunner, and commander. 3 people, plus 2 more seats in the back. Could be for a medic or whoever you need. But the core crew is 3.
Is the engine in the front?
Yep, up front.
What kind of engine?
Turbo diesel, inline 6. 6 to 7 liters. Automatic transmission. 6 forward gears, 1 reverse.
What's its top land speed?
On a highway, 70 kilometers per hour.
You've really driven it that fast?
Even hit 75. Pushed the speedo to the max.
What can I say? This Viking really hauls. Looks small, but it's got serious muscle.
Drives like a regular car, really easy to handle. I'm used to it like my own personal vehicle.
Since it's amphibious, it actually floats?
Absolutely. It swims at 5 kilometers per hour.
How deep does it sink when in water?
About 1.25 meters deep.
So that's like up to the windows?
Yeah, it swims using its tracks, no extra propeller.
The tracks look kind of unusual.
They're rubber.
Kind of toy-like, honestly.
Nah, rubber with a Kevlar layer. They're wide, makes mine blasts less likely to go off, reduces the chance of a detonation. Weight's more spread out, which helps if you roll over a mine, unlike the narrow tracks on BTRs or Modalihas, which concentrate the pressure. Here, the weight's distributed more evenly, less risk of triggering the mine.
So has that happened?
Yeah, once we did hit a mine head-on. The driver's legs got injured a bit, but no fatalities. That's thanks to the V-shaped capsule hull and double-layered armor in the crew compartment. You can't repair the tracks, they just get replaced. Power's sent to the rear section through a drive shaft. It's all-wheel drive.
So both front and rear tracks are powered?
Exactly.
But all this is exposed, no casing or protection. Why is that?
Well, when the vehicle turns, the two halves flex, one way, then the other. It's a moving joint. If it were rigid, sure, you could add armor, but it has to move constantly. And when it's in the water, those cylinders adjust the vehicle's tilt.
Horizontally and vertically?
Exactly.
But couldn't they make a rubber cover for that?
They could have. But clearly, the designers didn't think of that.
Seems like a weak point to me. Debris could get in there or something could break it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a vulnerability. But the sections are only connected by cylinders. So if one gets damaged or flips, the other can still stand on its tracks as normal.
Wait, so it can twist and flip around?
Yep, and the vehicle keeps going. Just rotate it back into place. Nothing breaks.
Just pick it up and reset it?
Yeah,
And it weighs how much again?
3.5 tons. So, no, you're not lifting it by hand. You'll need gear for that.
And what's in that rear part? What's it for?
It's for carrying personnel, an assault squad heading to or returning from a mission.
And the back? Hatch or doors?
Doors. Big ones. Easy to use. When troops are in full gear, armor, packs, rifles, or machine guns, they can still load in and out easily. Quick in, quick out.
Any advice for infantry who are riding this to the front? What are they doing right or wrong?
It's 2.2 meters wide, 7.6 meters long. That's almost 8 meters. Pretty long. Drivers need to factor in the turning radius. That's critical, especially if the area is mined. You can't just spin this thing around on the spot. You'll need to back and forth or have room to maneuver.
How long does a full turn take?
A minute or two, then you're headed back. During that time, the gunner is covering the vehicle, and the driver gives audible signals to the rear compartment. There's an indicator light. If it's on, the rear doors are open. You don't need to get out and check. Sensors tell you everything. Once the light's on, that means troops are dismounting. Another signal might mean wounded are being loaded, or it's a personnel swap at the line. Once they're inside, doors close, light goes off. One click, locked. Now we unlock. And the turret rotates. Gunner's good to go. It fully rotates, 180 degrees.
Is it manual?
Manual. Just grab the lever, turn it left or right.
On most vehicles like this, the turret's not very protected. The armor's low, and if you're firing, your head's usually sticking out.
That's true, but hey, it's still something.
Your head?
I mean the armor. At least it's there. It gives you some cover.